TIFU by going on a late-night road trip without my strict parents knowing. Honestly, I cannot even say anything. I am dumb for deciding to go with my friends. We are all 17 meters. I called my traditional Asian mom, telling her I was going to a city 25 minutes away and will be back by 9 to 3010 p.m. My friends asked me if I want to go on a road trip to pick up some car wheels and lied that we will be back before 10:30. We did not get back before 10:30. My siblings eventually found out mid-trip because we share locations with each other and they were cool with it besides my eldest sister, which she was mad and told my mom about it. My phone eventually died, and they got a hold of my friend's number through my sister's friend, asking for us to drive safe back home and that I won't be in much trouble. They lied. I got back home around 1:30 a.m. and when I entered the house, my mom was standing there in the hallway waiting for me. It was very understandable that she was yelling at me, telling me that I should not be hanging out with those friends anymore, which I do agree. She told me I can't go out anymore and that she will talk to me more and will tell this to my dad the day after when he comes home. Now it is 10:02 a.m. the day after and I am currently dreading the talk because of how embarrassed and angry at myself for going and will probably get my ass whooped. TLDR. Angry at myself for going on a late-night road trip due to peer pressure and was gullible. Asian parents and siblings are mad at me. Lots of kids posting here lately, huh? Oh, the life of an Asian teenager with super strict parents. From experience, my advice to you is to apologize profusely. Whether you mean it or not, don't talk back. Accept what they are saying and promise you will do better. After a few days, weeks of walking on eggshells, everything will go back to being normal. They are your family. They will forgive you on their own time. Explain that your friends lied to you. If you haven't already, you thought you would be home by 10:30 and if you weren't the driver, it's kinda out of your control once you were deceived. Hopefully you do actually agree with your parents in that being friends with those people may not be the wisest of choices. I don't know them, but if they didn't care about getting you into trouble, I doubt they care much about you at all. Lol, just take the licks and move on, kid. Your mom's mad because she was probably worried sick and the fact she didn't punish you on the shot is proof enough she was just relieved you got home safe. Be honest with your dad. Don't make excuses. And remember that when it comes to parents, being open and honest is usually the best policy. They're not angry about the trip exactly. They're angry that you lied to them. And they don't want you to be influenced by nor hang out with friends who would pressure or encourage you to lie to your parents. That's their view on this. Also, they were worried and are channeling that concern into anger at you. Think of how angry they are. That's the size of how much they care. They shouldn't be taking it out on you in anger. But it is very common for parents to act this way. Also, take a breath. You screwed up. It happens. Especially when you're young. Don't fret on how screwed you are. Push that useless energy into something useful. Namely, how do you make this situation better? Focus on figuring out solutions. And try to communicate what you're thinking calmly when your dad talks to you. Or bring it up to your mom. Actually, even more important than thinking up solutions on your own, ask your parents for help coming up with solutions to avoid situations like this coming up in the future. In less than a year you are old enough to be drafted and shipped to a different country to possibly die for something you have no opinions about. I think you are old enough to take a trip and return safely. These strict Asian mums are too much for me. Something like castrating their own children. I don't get it. You were 17 and went out OFR the night with friends on a bit of a trip to get some wheels. The only problematic part 1C in this story is that you lied about what you were doing rather than just saying you were going on a trip. What do you actually think your friends did wrong here? Why would you not hang out with them? They sound pretty good to me. They even willingly took you back. And sounds like they cut the trip short to do just that? This happened to me when I was a kid. I got home at 5 a.m. They were pissed that night. The next morning it didn't come up. It never came up again. They essentially stopped caring what time I came home as long as I was home. They stopped waiting up for me. So ultimately it worked out positively even. Just try to be clear if it does come up that you tried to make the responsible decisions and stay safe and that you didn't have control of when you got home and didn't know what to do. Say you considered calling them to pick you up but didn't feel safe waiting alone by the side of the road. Don't blame your friends, but accept responsibility for making the decision to leave, and for the fact that sometimes plans go awry. Either you had a great time and can live with the consequences, or you learned something about that friend group and won't hang out with them. There are worse ways to find that out.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.